Meeting of April the 14th to order at 7 p.m. If you'd all stand, please, and join with me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First of all, could everybody put their phones on mute? Okay. Mr. Secretary, could you do a roll call, please?
Secretary now? Okay. Member Burley.
Here.
Member Schmente.
Here.
Chairman Farina. Member Green.
Here.
Member Menendez. Member Stasek. Member Wall.
Here.
That is a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Joining us tonight, along with the members of the board, is the city attorney, Alyssa Erickson, our planner, Don Comer, and our city clerk, August Gitschlick.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Phonetically.
Messes it up every week.
I thought that was almost good.
It's almost good.
How long's it take?
Petitioners and members of the audience, the Zoning Board of Appeals is herein created as a body of limited powers where there are practical difficulties or unnecessary hardships in the way of carrying out the strict letter of the Fraser Code. The board shall have the powers in passing upon appeals to vary or modify any of the provisions of the code relating to the construction, structural changes in equipment, or alterations of buildings or structures, so that the spirit of the code shall be observed, public safety secured, substantial justice done, no variance in the provisions or requirements of the code shall be authorized by the board unless the board finds evidence that all of the following facts and conditions exist: that there are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question as to its intended use of the property and do not apply generally to other properties in the same zoning district, that such variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right similar to that possessed by other properties in the same district and in the same vicinity. The possibility of increased financial return shall of itself not be sufficient to warrant a variance. That the authorizing such a variance will not be of a substantial detriment to adjacent properties and will not materially impair the intent and the purpose of the Fraser Code or the public interest. And D, that the condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of the property for which the variance is sought is not of so general or recurrent in nature as to make reasonable, practicable the formulation of general regulations for such condition or situation. Okay. Under new business, I notice that we're not going to okay the minutes of the last meeting.
No, we do approve the agenda, though.
Okay. Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, under new business, there's public hearing for ZBA 26-0333, 710 Mulvey Road. Petitioner here? Yes. You want to step up? Could you say your name and address for the record, please?
Joseph Sacalo. My home address now, 8467 Darlene, Warren, Michigan,
Okay.
48093.
Okay. Mr. Planner, can you read us through it?
Thank you, Chair Farina. is a public hearing to obtain a variance from section 32-121A and 3 to exceed the maximum accessory building height in the residential low density district by 5 feet, which increases the limit from 15 feet to 20 feet, and also to exceed the maximum allowable 2/3 of the total floor area of the principal residence. The principal residence in this case is 1,437 square feet. The applicant is proposing to build a 3,120 square foot accessory building as a pole barn, which is exceeding the maximum allowable accessory building square footage by 2,157 square feet, increasing the allowable limit of 963 square feet to 3,120 square feet. This property is located on a 1.4 acre lot, located again at 33710 Mulvey Road, north of 14 Mile Road and west of Utica Road, again in the RL Residential Low Density Zoning District. As we shared, the applicant is proposing to build a 3,120 square foot pole barn as an accessory building to the principal residence. As shown in the current zoning map, the surrounding properties along this section of Mulvey are zoned RL as well. I'll also note that the future land use map maintains residential low density for this section of the city. There are some natural features present on the property, including several mature trees. I also included a FEMA map that indicates the presence of a floodplain associated with the Harrington Drain at the southern portion of this parcel. The applicant provided the renderings shown here that illustrate the proposed 40-foot by 60-foot pole barn. It also proposes a 12 by 60-foot covered porch. The pole barn is located in the rear yard and meets all setback requirements. Subject to Zoning Board of Appeals granting relief for the requested variances under section 32-121A3, the proposal will need to be reviewed by the city engineer for the proposed gravel access drive that you see in this section over here. Also, there were some questions regarding the overall height of this building.
That can be lowered. It doesn't have to be.
Excuse me.
The
Oh, okay, we'll get there.
The building height, in this case, is 20 feet, and the maximum allowable height is 15 feet. So the applicant is asking for a 5-foot increase. So this shows the walls as 16 feet, the gabled roof up to a high point of 24 feet. With a gabled roof, it's not a flat building, so you don't use the 24-foot calculation. You take the average of that height. So the 8 feet divided by 2 is 4 feet, so the 16 plus 4 is where we're getting the average height of 20 feet, and that's where the 5-foot variance is being derived from. That was reviewed by the previous city planner, myself, and the building official. The applicant notes, in reviewing against the ordinance standards, that there are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or as to the intended use of the property that are not applied generally to other properties in the same zoning district. The applicant notes that this lot is very rural in nature with a size of 1.4 acres, extremely deep at 635 feet. In the planning review, we acknowledge that while there are a handful of lots on Mulvey that exceed the 1 acre, many of the nearby lots are roughly a quarter of the size of the applicant's. Therefore, we do not find that this is we do find that this is a unique parcel and able to accommodate the proposed pole barn. What we have here is an image taken from Google Street View from 2022 of the subject property. This image here I took earlier this month. This is facing south into the rear of the property. You can see where looks like it's been graded recently. The photo on an image on the far right would be looking north towards where that proposed gravel driveway, I'm guessing, would continue on from where that paved driveway currently exists.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Your voice dropped off.
So that final image on the far right-hand side is looking north from the backyard of the property and depicts where, in that previous slide, the applicant had showed where the gravel driveway, I'm assuming, would continue on from that existing asphalt driveway. B, that such variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of the substantial property right, like that possessed by other properties in the same vicinity. The possibility of increased financial return should not be itself deemed enough to warrant a variance. Applicant here notes that there are at least 3 other properties on the same street with additional buildings, which led him to consider buying this property to do the same. He gives examples of 33683 Mulvey, 33643 Mulvey, and 33625 Mulvey. Planning agrees that this request is consistent with other properties on Mulvey that already have existing accessory buildings. Here, took the street view. This 33683 is kitty corner across the street. If you look in the aft ground of the photo back here, you'll notice the large white accessory structure that was built and approved in I think, 2011. The image on the right is an aerial that shows 33683 and the adjacent property 33643. And you can see from both images that each have rather substantial accessory buildings in the rear of their property. And similarly to the applicant's parcel, have very deep, unique parcels. We'll note that each of them has an access driveway coming from the street of concrete. C, the authorized variance, the authorization of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent properties and will not materially impair the intent and purpose of this chapter or the public interest. We do not believe that this variance would be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property, nor would it impair the intent or purpose of this chapter to provide public interest as long as the setbacks are maintained. We did send out public hearing notices to all residences within 300 feet of this parcel, as well as published it in the Macomb Daily. Excuse me. Finally, D, that the conditions or situations of the specific piece of property or the intended use of the property for which the variance is sought is not so general or recurrent in nature as to create a general rule for such condition or situation. Planning finds that since few residential lots in the area provide the same unique size and depth as the applicants, it's unlikely to create a general rule. In conclusion, we do not believe granting the variance would negatively impact the health, safety, welfare, or value of neighboring properties or the community in general. Therefore, we are recommending approval of the variance from section 32-121A3 to allow 5 feet increase in building height of the accessory structure and increase the allowable accessory building square footage by 2,150 square feet. Thank you, and the applicant is here to answer any questions, and I'm happy to answer any additional questions that members may have as
Questions
well.
of the board? Yes, Mr. Burley.
Yes, I got a question on that for the, you're saying the maximum height is an average of the building?
Yes,
Oh, you
the height, the maximum height of the building is calculated when it's a gabled roof. If it's a flat roof, the height is determined by, the height up into the top line, of course, of the building. In the case of a gabled roof, you take the average of the height.
So in theory, I could do a 10-foot long wide, but maybe 30 feet tall, and that would be under the 15 feet. As long as the calculations are right, you could, in theory, do something like that.
I suppose, yes, if you could engineer a building in such a way, that would.
That's interesting.
Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Burley.
Yes, I also have a question on that. I came up with 2/3 of, and maybe I'm wrong, of 1437, I come up with 958 instead of 963. Not sure if anybody else got that or if my math is wrong.
I could double check the math.
I tried to do it twice.
I recall, last meeting, you were our math wizard as well.
Well, not a wizard, but
Mr. Brule, you said 9:58?
I believe so. Unless these glasses are off.
You're getting older.
I am.
I'm taking 1437 times 0.67.
Oh, okay.
And
I did
coming to
6
it-
all the way to.
Okay, so,
Okay,
yeah, so
all right.
that's where I got the 962.79 and rounded up to 960.
Member Menendez.
The other two properties that were shown, the other two property, okay, right there under 33643, that are the large structures, and were both of those approved?
So,
Do you have anything on record showing that those buildings were even approved?
so,
Okay.
and 33683, I went back through the records the best I could find them, and the city does show that the building permit was approved in 2011.
Okay, so all of them were approved?
Yes, these have been approved.
Okay, good, thank you.
Anybody else? I have a question. Doesn't the ordinance demand that a driveway be a hard surface, not gravel?
That's why I made sure to include the note that what you all are being asked to consider today is just the variance for the accessory building height and for the additional square footage. And subsequent to your findings, the city engineer will still need to review the plans for the driveway as, for one instance.
Well, no, the city engineer can't review it for that. It's in the ordinance that it has to be a hard surface.
If you look at the way the ordinance is written is that the city engineer has discretion if it's considered of equal quality.
These are all hard surfaces.
Yes, I included those images there so you could see what had been previously approved as far as access to accessory structures.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions for the planner?
One more. Do we have a dimension, a total square foot dimension on the size of the parcel?
Total square footage, so it's,
The area that you had marked off in red, the width and the length?
yes, well, so it's 1.4 acres, so there's 43,560 square feet in an acre, so times 1.04, 1.4, 43,560 times 1.4. It's a little over 60,000 square feet total.
And the proposed length of that, it's clear enough away from the FEMA area where it complies with their restrictions for their setbacks?
Yeah, I think this image, that picture, sorry, that middle picture, I believe the applicant is proposing was 60 feet between the structure. So I think that.
I saw the markers
yeah.
out there, but I couldn't tell which one was, because there was a yellow marker and then there was an orange one.
Yeah, and there's a large tree stand like directly behind here that I'm assuming is staying in place, and they're likely putting it here. So I think it is still a couple hundred feet away from that back
We're all
area.
good with FEMA. Okay.
I see your light on, Mr. Wall?
Question I had was, is there any concern with the water flow from the new structure, where there would be a question, from documentation on whether it would impact the apartment complex building that is, if you're looking behind the building, it would be to the left. If, water would be sitting in that could potentially undermine that particular structure.
So if you look at that image to the far left, I think you're talking about that apartment building that's just to the right of the subject property.
Correct.
And those,
And there's a brick wall that runs up and, down that. And I know from past experience, because I've had it happen to myself, if water has a tendency to sit there, it will undermine, that substructure. So I'm just questioning if there is anything potentially that needs to be addressed, that would alleviate that potential issue.
yeah, remember, that's again why I want to kind of reiterate that the city engineer will be reviewing the proposed access driveway and the runoff, whether a channel would be required, what the curb cuts are going to be, how that water is going to flow, and what the grade is going to be required coming off of that parcel and that proposed access driveway. So my hope is that the city engineer, and I have made them aware that this is something that we're reviewing. The building official, I will note, that inspected the property and reviewed the plan, doesn't have an issue with the applicant's proposal of using a crushed gravel or even a two-track. But I'd like to see what the engineer said. But I have also communicated to the applicant that what we're asking for today is just for approval on the variances that were requested for the additional building height and additional square footage. That does not mean, he still has to go through the process of permitting, going through the engineering review to ensure that the sheet flow and everything else is in compliance and will not negatively impact the adjacent parcels.
Okay,
Thank you.
anybody else? Anything? Do you have anything to add, sir?
I'm good.
Okay. I have some questions. That seems to be awfully high structure. What are since we don't have an engineered drawing here, what are the cross beams going to be? Are they going to be load bearing?
What do you mean by that?
Are you going to be able to put loads on them? Or is that just an attic area?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought it was me.
I'm not understanding what you're asking me about the load-bearing part of it. I'm using it for mostly storage. I have a motor home, a boat, car trailer, all that's going inside of it. That's what I'm,
Wants to know if you plan to put anything
Heavy up
on
there.
the second, up in the attic trusses, like.
Oh,
If you were gonna
no.
put like a floor in and put a bunch of stuff
I
up
don't-
there,
I
or are
don't-
you
More
just doing?
I don't believe so, no.
'Cause this looks dangerously like a commercial building to me. You know. And I mean, usually, you don't have to go that high with buildings unless you're going to store stuff up there.
Well, the main thing was for the RV. It's tall to drive in.
Well, it can't be any taller than your garage door.
No, the garage door is going to be, I believe, 14 feet high or 13 and a half, somewhere in that area.
Don't you have to have an egress also from that building? Isn't there? I didn't notice any doorways anywhere or things. If you're going to talk, ma'am, ma'am,
Yeah, I'm sorry. He was planning. to
pick the
put a
mic
door
up,
on the
move
side.
the mic.
He was planning to put like just a service door.
Your name is,
Paula DeMarco,
your address is?
4770 Rapp Road, Bruce, Michigan.
Okay.
And he was planning to put a service door just on the side. We just don't have a side view drawn
Okay.
underneath the porch, like.
Okay.
There's one in the front between the two garage doors, but he was still going to put one maybe on the side. But
Right.
there's a door in the middle between the two garage doors.
Yes, saw that. But you have to be able, if the fire's at this end, you got to be able to get out the other end. If there is a fire.
That would fall under the building permit. I'm sure we would match whatever.
And what is the porch for, please?
It's gonna keep coming out if you don't use the microphone. It's gonna keep coming out.
Get right up to it. and when
Okay,
you're looking at the
sorry.
screen,
You can
the
pull it-
microphone is not in front
pull
of
it
your mouth,
closer to
okay?
you.
So you need to have the mic in front of your mouth.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, if, whatever building requires as far as egress or ingress doors, they would be provided.
And what is the porch for? That's a pretty big.
Just an overhang for parking stuff on it, so it don't get wet and stuff, trailers or whatever I got. Possibly my boat. Thank you. Sorry, did it again. That's something we're used to here.
Trust me, I've been up here 20 years.
Have you?
Still not used to it. All right. Anything else? Okay, do you want to take your seat? Is there anybody in the public that wants to be heard? I'm sorry, before you go. Hold on. We're going back. Joseph?
Question for you. Are you, on this building, such as a large building, are you planning on pulling power from the house for electrical, or are you going to have a separate meter and an address?
That's all on the builder. Whoever I hire to build this thing for me, they're gonna have to come in and tell me how that's gonna have to be done. I'm not a builder, so however they want me to do it, I guess, is what I'll have to do, right? So whatever the city requires, whether it comes from the house or
A separate meter, and if you have a separate meter, you're going to have another address. Okay, all right.
so that's what I mean.
You realize this is not a habitable building.
It's not a what?
Habitable building.
Right.
Can't have people living out there.
No, heck no, no. Yeah, unless I'm in trouble.
All right. Would you take a seat in the audience then? All right. Anyone from the public wishing to be heard? Okay, I'm opening public hearing. Would you come forward, please?
Hey, good evening, my name.
No.
That's gonna come right out
Yeah,
again.
microphone, you get in
All
trouble.
right, you're asking for it.
Now, may I identify yourself, your name and address?
Good evening. My name is Benjamin Carter. I've been a resident of Fraser for 13 years at 33700, and my property would be adjacent to Mr. Ciacalos, and I just have a couple questions about his plan. 2 slides back. This is my property right here. I'm approximately 2 acres, and I butt up to the drain here.
You're going to have to get here.
Or take the mic with you.
Just curious, Joe, where you want to put that building?
Basically, right in the middle, behind the house.
And I don't have a problem with that, but I would like to see some drawings.
On the drawing here, it's approximately 80 feet back.
I just want to know where it's at in relation to my property.
That's all it was.
You're the gentleman that wrote us the letter?
I did not.
No, they were across the street.
But I think we got a real spirited group here tonight, and in the, in the thought of being progressive, I think this is a great idea. I would just like to see some better drawings.
Member
You
Menendez?
going to work with me? Okay, cool.
Excuse me. Address us, please.
Yes, sir.
I've been in these meetings where a fight breaks out doing that.
No, just had some curious questions as to where he wanted to put it, et cetera, et cetera. There's a couple residents here from Mulvey who take great pride in their properties. And just curious what's in store.
Member Menendez. Wants to talk.
A question for Mr. Sakala, but he would have to come up in front of the.
It may be better to have the public comment, and then you can ask the petitioner additional questions after. You can have a seat. Yeah.
This counts as you going to the gym today. Okay, anything else, sir?
No, like I said, I just wanted to see a technical drawing, an architectural plan, and I think it's a great idea, and I think your approval of the grievance is the right thing to do.
Variance.
Variance.
If you have a grievance, that's another department. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else want to be talked? Anybody else? Yes, come on up. Please identify yourself, name and address, please. Into the mic.
My name is Paul Babick. I live at 33683 Mulvey. I've been a resident of Fraser for 30 years, and you guys were talking about my house I had in there. And I tried to get a variance on my house when I did my pole barn, and they gave me a big thing on there, and I did the 2/3. So I ended up doing the 2/3 and settled with that. I believe that through the, I have 1,800 and some odd square feet, so they ended up doing a 1,400 square foot garage. And I tried to get a variance to do that. I understand that what I have is, I'm happy with it. I've been with it for all these years. Everything's fine. What I don't understand is they're giving him 900 and some odd, and he's going 3,100 square feet, which is way bigger than what his house is. I mean, the variance is good if they approve it, but I don't see where, you know, you got 900 and you got 3,100 square feet. I don't know. I just feel that if you guys approve it, you prove it. But, you know, I just feel that the situation of being in Fraser, that I went through all this, what he's going through, and I was stopped. And I just want to know why, you know, and, yeah, it's a whole different, you know, it's 20 years down the road, you know, and,
Can't tell you.
you know, it's an outbuilding is what I had put up there, you know.
Is yours a barn in the?
Pardon?
Was yours a barn in the back
Yeah,
that the top got cut off?
yep.
I'll talk to you about it later.
And I settled with all that and got everything varied and everything was fine. And, you know, I had problems with that and then I solved it 10 years later, you know.
Okay.
You know, but as far as I could say is that, you know, if you guys are, you know, it's probably an improvement to our little society that we have on Malvy there, you know, and the only thing is it for business or is it for storage or, that's the only thing that kind of puzzles me, you know. Is he gonna run a business out of that, or?
I think he answered that. His answer is no.
Okay. Well, I can see that. I just come here to participate in, you know, the little discussion we have here, and
You're welcome.
I'm, you know, deeply involved. I'm a Fraser resident for all these years, and, you know, the improvement does help, and everything's fine otherwise.
No,
That's about all I gotta say.
thank you.
All right.
Anyone else want to talk? Anyone else? No one else wants to talk? I'm going to close the public hearing at 7:33. Okay. All right. Is there a motion to be heard? Any more discussion?
I still had a question, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I wanted
Yes, you
to
did.
ask Mr. Sakala a question in reference to Mr. Carter's question. You have two stakes out there, one orange and one yellow,
I don't own the house yet.
Those are mine.
and you're the owner.
Those are my property.
You're the owner. Okay, is that where the proposed accessory building is supposed to end?
No, those are his stakes.
Okay,
They're not, it has nothing to do with the drawings or anything for the property.
This fall, I
Okay.
installed a fence.
okay, thank
And
you.
I put it 1 foot west of the property line. 1 foot west. And it was staked out and it was measured by engineers. See that brand-new fence there in the second picture?
Yes.
Okay, that's 8 sections of 8-foot fence that I installed with metal posts, not 4x4 wood posts. This fence is gonna be here longer than any of us. And just curious about the location of the building.
It's basically, it's base,
95 by 700.
excuse me. It's basically in line with the side of the house going down. So it's like about 15 feet off of the property line.
That's not accurate. That's not a good picture. It's really not a good picture. If I could show you a north to south picture, it'd paint a completely different.
Well, I was on the property this weekend.
When?
This weekend. Saturday.
Okay.
So,
Did you walk the west property line?
yeah.
See how nice it is back there? Good. Yeah, those posts are the property line, and the other post is the 1 foot off the property line. The yellow is the property line, the orange is the 1 foot off the property line where I put my fence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You all set? Ma'am, you want to come up? You, ma'am? Nobody? Okay. Any more questions up here? Okay. All right. Entertain a motion? Is there any more discussion then? Yes, Mr. Burley.
Do we know what the setback is from the house to his property? I mean, because on the drawing, it really, say 1.5 feet? I mean, obviously, they can't build on the,
No, they can't. It's in line, if you see the drawing up there,
I see the drawing, it's just.
see it's in line with this side of the house, right?
Right, but it doesn't really have the setback on the right side.
So through the chair, yeah, I think you all are honing in on the right image here to the right. So this is up here up front, that's the existing principal residence. The applicant is proposing an 80-foot setback right here from the principal residence to the start of the pole barn. You have a 15-foot side yard setback
Oh, that's 15.
from this property
It
line right here.
looks like it's 1.5 on there.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
that's,
right.
yeah, with some of the challenges with hand drawing, but yes, this is a 15-foot side yard setback, which meets the requirement. So this hopefully gives a better understanding for folks. This is where it would be situated and to the adjacent neighbor, to his comment. So that's where it would be positioned. 80 feet off of the house, the rear of the house, 15 feet off his property line.
Okay. Anything else? Waiting for one of you?
You waiting for a motion?
Yep. Mr. Burley.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve the variance from section 32-121 to exceed the maximum accessory building height in the RL district by 5 feet, increasing the limit from 15 feet to 20 feet, and exceed the maximum allowable 2/3 of the total floor area of the principal residence. The principal residence is at 1437 square foot, and the applicant is proposing to build a 3120 square foot accessory building that would exceed the maximum allowable accessory building square footage by 2157 square feet, increasing the limit from 963 square feet to 3,120 square feet, with the condition of acceptable grading by the city engineer.
Second.
May I offer something to that? I'd like to see that the driveway be of a solid nature, unless otherwise specified by the city engineer, and that the trusses are not load-bearing. Okay? Is that acceptable?
That is acceptable.
Anything?
May I offer just a few suggestions? So my recommendation in terms of conditions would be that the applicant comply with all applicable laws, codes, rules, and regulations. That would include any concerns from engineering in terms of the driveway being gravel or having to otherwise be required to be paved or of a hard surface. It have to be in compliance with ordinance requirements. And that would also go to Mr. Burley's concern regarding the grading as well. I just don't want to kind of back us into a corner if we don't need to. But Mr. Farina's condition in terms of the trusses not being load-bearing, I think that's an acceptable condition.
What she's,
Yes.
I would also add, just obtain all required building and engineering permits as well. I think it's pretty much consumed in my other condition proposal, but I think it's also nice to have clear conditions in the minutes, so.
do you,
Yes, I'm fine with that.
any other discussion? Call the question? Mr. Clerk?
You want a roll call?
Yes.
Burley,
Yes.
Chimenti,
Yes.
Farina, Green,
No.
Menendez, Stasek,
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Passes.
Good luck.
Congratulations. And I'm jealous. Big lot. It's a big lot.
Okay. All right. Planning Commission liaison, there is no report.
It's a special meeting, so there's none of that today.
Anything public to be heard? Any other thing? Seeing no public to be heard, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Right.
Who was second?
Scott.
Mr. Green? Oh, Mr.
Come back
Wall?
anytime, folks. See government work.
A friend of mine, his name is Joe Sakala.